Coming at you again today with another podcast from the Underdogs on Top studio. We have our segment today is we're bringing to you the future of fitness.
Truth Over Fitness.
Truth of Fitness podcast, brought to you on every Sunday. We're located in Richton Park at the Underdogs on Top studio. And like I said, we're coming to you again.
Co-host.
With my co-host, Chie,
and
Figure Prodigy to Louis. And our subject today is to train to do what you do. When you're happy with you, you're happy. And the reason that we're bringing this podcast to you is because we've had encounters, and I'm quite sure a lot of other trainers have, if they're listening, is an area of concern to us, and that is letting negative people, generally your spouse, usually males, they're counteracting. Like, for instance, you'll hear people say, your significant other say, hey, I don't want you to lose any more weight, you're getting too skinny, or you're losing your butt, I don't want you to lose your butt. And in reality, you probably need to lose some of your butt.
Actually, it's not only male, it's some coming from your family members or your girlfriends.
Right.
Yep.
And the thing is that you come to work to make the progress to make you happy, not the negative comments that other people, like I say, family, friends, your spouses, whatever, they're making suggestions or making comments based on what they think or what they would want. You have a guy, he's sitting there with a gut, but he's telling you, you're dropping too much weight too fast, you're starting to get too skinny. I think that's a good thing. I don't think people that are shooting negative comments your way should be the critic of you when you ain't done shit.
I think a lot of time, because a woman, we are emotional animal, and we try not to say anything about, our mate. But they always speak up. You know what I mean? A lot of time what I see in past, like I said, 2 decades, and I'm running into first when people come to us and started making progress. For some reason, people surround them started making a comment like, okay, how much more you losing? Or, oh, you don't want to lose your butt because, man like me on the bone. Now, I mean, it's like I heard so many comments. And I always tell them, it's like, you let them determine what you gonna look like or how you feel, you know what I mean? Because if I wanted to be skinny, I don't want to say skinny, I say lean, because more muscle, okay? Less body fat. If I wanted to be that, that's what Chie want. And if somebody say, oh, you don't have really enough butt for me, I can say, shoot, you don't have enough muscle for me either. And it is a lot of time, I tell the female clients most of the time, saying, have you ever told your mate that, hey, I don't want your big gut, or, I want more muscle on your chest or arm. I mean, we don't speak up, but they do.
Right.
And also a lot of girlfriends, to me, most of the time, it's a jealousy or a hating. And, you don't want to look skinny. Oh, you want to look healthy. Healthy, not healthy with the size. What I'm saying is a healthy where you look healthy as far as you working out, you eating, good nutrition food, and you feel better.
You used to always have this saying that you would tell your clients is, when you lose your fat, you lose your friends.
I always say that. That is so true. People, I mean, if you are my good friends or best friend, you should have congratulated me because I'm happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But instead, they were more so in the, like, oh, well, matter of fact, they don't even make a comment. You know I lost 10 pounds. You don't say nothing.
Right.
Now, that's like that is a hating. You know what I mean? But that's okay. You know what I mean? But I think that most of people are comfortable seeing you and size whatever you used to be, and then once you started losing, because they not happy or they uncomfortable where they at, they want you to be where they at.
Right.
Misery love company, right? So I tell the clients all the time, you have to focus on your goal, and if you wanted to to size 8 instead of 14, that's what you do.
Right.
And trust me, when you get there, people started asking, so what kind of diet you on? How much water you drinking? It is so funny. I seen that myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but some clients, they stop because of their husband or their spouse, mate, saying that.
Either they stop or they come to you and say, hey, I don't want to lose no more of my butt. And it's like...
But the thing is that you guys have to understand, losing body fat is quicker than gain the muscle. Okay, gain the muscle, it takes time. So as we are training, we gain in a muscle, and then we eating healthy, and we take it in necessary calories. So of course you lose it fat.
Right.
So on the process, it seems to be you just getting smaller. But trust me, you can bring back your size with your muscle. But I'm not saying you're gonna be size 14 with the muscle, but you are more firm and shapely, and not just to lose weight, to just be skinny. You know what I mean? If you eat correctly.
Right.
And also other thing, when they started training with me, they were single, right? And they so focused, and you look so great. You made such a great progress, and then you found somebody. And then now the person like, hey, I will take you out to the dinner, or let's go to trip and this and that. And now started to losing that focus the way it got you there.
Right.
Remind you, he saw you because you were in shape. Okay? So if you started getting out of shape, matter of fact, he will get motivated by you, and he started working out.
Right.
Now, he getting ripped and looking nice. But now, on the other hand, you started losing the focus. He take you out dinner all the time, or to take you a trip all the time. And most of the time, a man do this. Oh, you're so beautiful. You don't have to work out anymore. Why? You like me how I look because I was in the gym.
Right.
What makes you think you came to talk to me? So I told them all the time, don't go to their world, bringing them into your world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't forget, and how you became, and you just got to keep up.
Right. And like that's a common problem among men and women. You stop doing what got you there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something you should never do. And like as you said, and I agree. I turned your head because
I was in the gym.
Right.
I was taking care of myself. You know what I mean? And then so you can't stop that. But I see so many people. When they got with the guy or or a girlfriend, whatever, and they were in shape in the beginning, and then they started losing.
Right.
And then now you gain so much weight. So it's just like that's waste of time, because he might gonna leave.
Right.
And then what? You left with it again. You went all the way back to where you started at, right? So, especially women, we just gotta keep ourselves all the time. Don't matter what. Not for them, it's for you.
Right. The moral of the story is do not become content.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you are working out and you're starting to achieve the look that you want to achieve, don't let it slip because of now you're dating somebody, you got a man that you have been looking for or have been wanting forever, and it's like as easily as you get it, you can lose it. So
Because a lot of time, also in a relationship, because the other person is so insecure about themselves,
right,
they don't want other people to looking at you.
right,
You know what I mean? So what happened is that I want you to be thick. So and it ended up like it they're not gonna so they don't no other guys don't have to see you.
right,
But once you started getting in shape and you looking cute, of course, you gotta worry about that. Instead of worry about me stepping your game up.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I don't know. I find out myself within my experience. I lose identity to kind of please the other person, but that other person, you still do what they do. You know what I mean?
right,
Turn ahead and everything. I'm like, oh, so why I'm sacrificing myself for this? You know what I mean?
right.
So you started to focus on yourself and focus on your happiness, what is comfortable, and when I become what I am comfortable at, and now people respect, and my energies are different because I have more confidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, and what happened is that people start attracted to that. Now, some people legitimately they like, what they like. Then you are not for me.
Well, exactly, and this is one of the things I tell you. I'm a guy, and I honestly believe, and this is no judgment on anybody. Men, I don't believe if you had an opportunity to get a fat, out of shape girl or a nice, in shape, nice, petite, tight, keep your shit together, you can't tell me which one you rather prefer. That's not to say you don't love your spouse, but that's to say we all could, hey,
It's
come on.
man is physical animal, so I mean they different than us.
Yeah.
And well, I tell you this, we really honest, brutally honest. If I go out of hand, and the Earl will always say, you need to cut back. Also, me, same thing. I don't want a cottage cheese on your ass. I mean, you know what I mean. So you gotta keep up. Period. That's go both
and
ways.
that's one thing. We're brutally honest, and for me, I appreciate that.
What?
You know,
And I get this too. Like, husband wanted to buy a session, or boyfriend want to buy a session for their girlfriend or wife, but they couldn't really tell them
right?
because I guess somewhat offend them or something. Me, if my man say, hey, I wanted to buy your personal training session with Chie because, for the Christmas gift, that gotta be some type of a sign that, oh, okay, he trying to tell me something. It's good because if I can do that, and that can better for our relationship.
Right.
Instead of being, oh, what you trying to say? You love me no matter what. But minute he get broke, you know what I mean? If he couldn't take you out, or he couldn't buy your gift, you're not gonna like that.
Right.
So that he will try to do best he can to continue to spoil you, and then we need to do the same.
Right.
Yes, we do have we had a baby. Yes, we gained weight from the baby weight, but that was 15 years ago. Come on, don't make that as an excuse. Okay?
The baby about to go to college, and you still talking about baby fat.
Right. I mean, we kind of saying, and today is kind of really bold, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's why truth over fitness. We talk about truth, real stories,
Right.
real experience,
Right.
and I always said is everybody has so much potential when I see in the clients, but they stop aiming for their goal because of somebody else said.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Go with what you want,
Right.
what makes you happy. You know what I mean? You taking care of your body for you.
Right.
Other person can always leave.
Right.
And you left with the what? You know, just because you will listen to him or her. You know, you gotta do for you.
And that's the biggest problem with a lot of people. They don't do for them. They do it. You know, it's very common. You work out hard until you get that man
Right.
or get that woman.
What? This is another story. Earl do not like me put my hair in a bun. Some reason. I think it is cute, but when I do it, he will say, so what's up with a bun? You know what I mean? I told him, I said, then you should not be wearing it if you don't like it, okay? So what I'm saying is, we always do what we do dictate by what the other people say.
What she will say in return, what about your beard? Don't you need to go to the goddamn barber?
Exactly. So we say, if Earl didn't get a haircut, I can wear bun as long as I want. Okay? And that's what we say. Yeah, but I think not only that physical fitness, but most of the time, people are making making decision because of what somebody else said.
Right.
You know, you say, "Hey, this is my dream. This is what I want to do," but because your parents or your friends, hey, that's too hard. Well, you know that ain't gonna make no money.
Right.
You know, so now you go by what they said, and then you stop following your dream. And it's just the same thing.
Right.
You know, if it's whatever's in your heart, you gotta follow that.
Right.
I think that's what God gave you. You know, yes, it is hard to get in shape, or it is hard to follow the dream. But if you continue, just like us, or just like me, I follow everything in my heart. You know, I follow my heart, so I don't have to blaming anybody but me. You know what I mean? If it's coming good or bad, right? So I don't have no regret.
Right.
You know, so I see so many people that we come across, and many times because of what people say. And trust me, I'm coming from Japan. In Japan, Japanese people, that's what we do. We really care about what people think, what people see about yourself. And I truly learned from Sir Earl that you have to have I don't give a fuck attitude. I learned that. First, I'll be like, what? You know, but it's true. When it come upon where, guess what? When you go through the hard time, who's gonna be there?
Right.
You know.
And it's like sometimes it took us a while to adjust to each other, because unlike what they are in Japan, me growing up from Inglewood, it's like you learn the total opposite, and it is true. I don't give a fuck what somebody think or what somebody say, because I owe nothing to nobody. I pull myself out of a situation with hard work, and I will continue to do that. So I owe nothing to no one, and no one's advice is going to help me to try to get to where I'm trying to go. So the popular opinion or people's comments, it means absolutely nothing to me at all. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and it took us a minute to learn, because she had to adjust to my ways. I had to adjust to her ways. So I don't not give a fuck a lot anymore, but I not give a fuck enough.
Yes. It's a process. It's this process, but you know, what we discuss here is as like a true story, true you know, experience, and we see every day, and we just want to, you know, share with our those thoughts. You know what I mean?
You know, the things that we talk about, and this is called the Truth of Fitness podcast, because I'm not reading a book talking about your caloric intake.
Yeah.
I'm telling you straight story. This is something I've done for well over 30 years. I'm telling you the true stories realistically what I've been through, what I go through, how people think and what they do. And generally it's going to resonate with somebody.
Right.
So, my mission is to not have a bunch of people saying, "Ooh, he said this on the internet. He said that." My mission is to be honest and tell the truth.
Right.
So therefore, someone may listen and say, "Hey, I was there, so that resonates with me."
Right.
And that's what my goal always is. Every time I do a podcast, and if I'm being honest with myself and with my people, I'm going to be happy with it because it was what I felt was true.
Right.
Generally, someone's going to resonate with it because if I'm telling the truth, I ain't just one person in a vacuum. It has happened to other people and they can relate to it. And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to get through with spreading the Truth of Fitness podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get through.
Yeah. Well, you heard us. So if you have any question, opinion, what you like about, you can always leave a message. And you got anything else to say today?
No, it's pretty much like I said, I try to resonate and be honest and connect with people. And like I say, if you want to leave an email, we're at sirrearl1@comcast.net. If you want to call us personally for whatever it may be, the number to the club, first off, the club is located at 18061 Dixie Highway. So we do own a personal training studio. It kills me when people are giving advice and talking, and these fuckers don't even own a studio.
Right.
If you feel what you have to say as people to people and training people is so important, then your ass should have a place to do that at. Like I would see trainers, they train people outside. Okay, well, what happens if it rains? You know what I mean? You can't train them. So, we don't just talk the talk, we live it. That's what we've done for a very long time. I've been involved in this for a very long time on every level. I started my journey vacuuming floors.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've worked every level and everything in between. So I try to tell the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this is always every Sunday, Truth Over Fitness from Underdogs on Top Studio. And we will see you next time.
Exactly. Peace out.
Bye.